A mint picker. A derogatory term used to make fun of Genshin players that still continue to play or stream the game when there's nothing left to do. The joke stems from the fact that picking mint is, well, useless. You've done your dailies, spent your resin, and are caught up with all your quests, so all that's left to do is pick mints. So under the umbrella of resinless behavior, mint picker has floated around the community as an insult for streamers that aren't making very creative content. But I'm here to say, calling all these creators mint pickers was completely unfounded. None of these streamers were actually picking mint, it was just a joke. Maybe they would review a character from their chat or even just stand there doing nothing. But no one had actually tried to go around and collect mint in Genshin. And so I started thinking about how no one actually knew the trials and tribulations that would come with picking mint all day. Just how many mint are there in Genshin Impact? And how long would it take to pick every single mint in the game? I took these intrusive thoughts and made a declaration. I would start up a stream, and I would not end that stream until I pick every single mint in Genshin Impact. But this journey began before I even started the stream, because to pick every single mint on the entire map, you need to, well, have every area of the map unlocked. Look, I'm an avid Genshin player, obviously, and I like the exploration, but I take the game at my own pace, and sometimes I don't want to sit through hours of side quest dialogue, I'm sorry. But if I was gonna make this happen, I knew I had to do some questing. So on the morning of the fabled mint picking day, I woke up around 7 a.m. so that I could get this all done before starting the stream around noon. I looked over the Genshin Interactive map to figure out my plan, and this is what I needed to get done. Disperse the fog to unlock Tekaloapan Bay, do the Legend of Stonelock quest in Sumeru to unlock the final floor of this mountain cavern, finish the sword quest in Chenyu Vale to get into the ruin thing, and check random underground areas to make sure they wouldn't cause me any issues during the stream. The total mint unlocked by doing all 3 of these quests was 7. 7 mint. And since I was going to spend the entire rest of my day in front of my computer, I wanted a change of scenery while I could and completed these quests out in the living room. Tekaloapan Bay was pretty straightforward. Follow the voices, solve some puzzles, and I was able to get it all done in about 20 minutes. Sumeru would be a different story because to unlock the final quest to get the underground room, you need to free every ruin guard from their Dendro prison, and obviously I didn't have the quest yet, so I had to check each and every one of them individually.
Wait, I might have done it. Yeah. Let's go.
Then I went to check Fontaine's underground areas.
Now I gotta check Fontaine. Oh my god.
Finishing the entire Chenyu Vale questline took another hour, and after cross-referencing the underground areas of the map, I'd successfully prepped the stream in just 3 hours. And so, at 12:30 p.m. local time, I started the stream. Here we go. Sending out the Discord message. Chat, how are we doing? If you did not read the title, yes, it is true. We are picking every single mint in the entirety of Genshin Impact. And you may be curious, how many mints are there in Genshin Impact? Well, in the entirety of the map, there are 2,443 mint. And we will be picking every single one of them. Something we need to immediately address, my friends, is as the staunch, respectable Genshin player I am, already have 5,781 mint. Now that's gonna get confusing. So we're resetting the mint back down to 0. Goodbye. Years of work, years of dedication. It's gone like that? I don't even get a special animation or anything? And so we began the journey to collect every single mint. I estimated this would take about 8 hours, which comes out to an MPM of about 5. He knew nothing. I decided to start with Natlan and work my way backwards because Natlan actually had the lowest mint count by region with only 53 of the 2,443 mint total. And getting the high of finishing an entire region pretty early into the stream, I thought would be good for my overall morale. The first thing I needed to do to set up for success was decide on my team. Introducing the cast. Team captain was Chiori. Because she's my favorite character, her skill teleports her up walls and gaps, and she has a movement speed passive for the team. Shilonen skates up walls, which would obviously be super beneficial here in Natlan and everywhere else around the map, to be honest. Farina would allow me to walk on water, better traversing the map as a whole. And Kazuha with his hops and stamina reduction passive would prove to be very fruitful. I didn't run double Animo since Chiori's movement speed passive doesn't stack with Animo Resonance. Or so I thought. But we'll get to this mistake a little bit later on. Blissfully unaware of this oopsie, we actually began our journey and made our way to our first ever mint. Sweet flowers? That's a good one. You know what, buddy? I'll grab ya, but that's not what we're doing today, baby. Chat. Isn't that beautiful? It's our first one. Let's get a photo to remember this moment. Just beautiful. Everything was going as you might expect. Mundane, but efficient. Flying and teleporting around to each area with mint. You may be wondering how I knew where every mint was in the first place. I was using the official Genshin interactive map on the HoYoLab website to find them and mark off the ones that I'd picked. Now, there are other fan-made maps, but the most popular one people recommended didn't even bother to have the mints outside of Mondstadt marked. What, did they think these mints weren't important enough to map out? Despicable. And I, of course, thought nothing would be better at documenting every mint than the official map. At least that's what I thought, until we ran into our first snag. Oh my god, this is a giant time loss, chat. This is a giant time loss. This stupid little mint on a random island of Natlan does not exist. Trust me, I spent 8 minutes searching this whole island for a single mint. And my viewers went on some reconnaissance missions in their own worlds, never to return with mint. This is when the doubt started to creep in. Was there less mint on the map than officially documented? What else was Hoyoverse lying to us about? This rabbit hole goes deeper than you can even imagine. But in just 38 short minutes, we had collected every mint in Natlan, which sounds great, but there were only 52 of them. Think of what this stream could do for the future generation of mint pickers. This could honestly go down in like the annals of mint picking history. Just made a new Twitch account, happy 100K. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate that. You know what, J4, this mint is for you, buddy, okay? Thank you for coming to the stream. And that is the last mint of Natlan, baby. Let's go! Before I even got to revel in my accomplishment, it turns out Alina, my wonderful girlfriend, had a surprise for me.
Did you finish Natlan?
I did.
How many mint were there?
There were supposed to be 53, but one of them's a myth. We got 52 mint. What's up? Alina's here.
I wanted to congratulate James
for picking mint.
For beating Natlan. I'm very proud of him, so I brought him a little something as a gift.
Okay.
I was thinking since Natlan is pyro,
I
could bring you something spicy.
How spicy are we talking? I have mint to pick. Nyla, you don't want this, bro. To Natlan, chat, let's go! Oh my god. So 50 minutes into a stream with an undetermined end time, I now had a habanero pepper in my stomach. Great. With a fire lit under my ass. With this newfound vigor, it was time to head to the next smallest nation of mint, Fontaine, which held 228 mint. To Sumeru! Why? You're right. I don't know where to start. Things in Fontaine started all according to plan. It was right here! Albeit it was a slow start with the inferno going on in my mouth, but I was still picking mint through the pain and it eventually settled down. And Alina was nice enough to bring me a protein berry smoothie for lunch. We were honestly crushing Fontaine from the start. I was on a roll, picking up mint in quick succession, making successful lines when my heart sank. No. 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 What do I do? What do I do? A cavern through a side quest I had not unlocked. Luckily though, this only took a few minutes, a minor setback. We clutched up, answered these 3 absurdly difficult questions, found our mint, and kept going. Chat, there is a lot of mints around the Weeping Willow of the Lake. Keep our eyes peeled. Eyes peeled. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm counting 14. Okay, there's 4 by the entrance. I think this is an extra. How many is that? 6? Okay. 7? Oh, there are definitely extra mint here. Chat, I'm being completely serious. There are so many extra mint here. And another groundbreaking find. The map showed 15 mint around the Weeping Willow of the Lake, but there were actually 21. This was when the realization hit me that there must be dozens of undocumented mints all around the map. And this is no small matter. That's a net gain of 5 mint in all of Teyvat, more than making up for the ghost mint of Natlan. To believe there was a possibility that there was actually more than 2,443 mint was unbelievable. To believe we were about to uncover the truth Hoyo has been trying to keep from us for years about the real amount of mint in Teyvat, my excitement couldn't be contained. I wouldn't stop until every mint was found. After this, Fontaine became our playground, zooming through the whole region like it was nothing. After grabbing the mints of Petrichor, in just 2 hours and 26 minutes, we had every mint in Natlan and Fontaine done. 4. Don't mind if I do. No! No, don't start a quest. 6, 7, There might have even been an extra, or that was probably just 7. That's it. Let's go. Hi, Alina. What is this for?
So,
Hey, did I actually get a reward? A croissant?
so when I think of Fontaine, I think of it being French. So we got a croissant.
Okay.
And then I also think of the underwater exploration and the fact that it is hydro. So I got him.
We're reaching here.
I got him this lovely shot glass full of canned, I think it's clams or oysters or something in water.
What?
With a mint on top.
And I'm supposed to eat this abomination. And by the way, if you'd like to watch this mint picking adventure in its entirety, or the Abyss challenges, or any stream that I do, then I am happy to share with you that the Eakes VODs channel is now live here on YouTube. We're gonna be uploading every single Twitch stream to that channel, so go give it a sub. It just launched. I'd appreciate it a lot. So I'd love to keep this fun little humorous retelling of the dumbest day of my life going, but next with Sumeru, where having fun is illegal. There are 631 mint in Sumeru. Over a quarter of all mint in the entire game is in Sumeru. Sumeru is ginormous, Sumeru has a ton of layers underground, and worst of all, Sumeru is green. So these mints were hard to spot, hard to find, and there were over 600 of them. This was a miserable experience. I had fun with Fontaine and Natlan, but Sumeru was an absolute beast to deal with. Meticulous map cross-checking, mountain climbing, and cave delving. I sort of feel like we forgot this was a marathon stream, and it was now 8 p.m. at night, because Sumeru itself took 5.5 hours to complete. My estimate of 8 hours to complete the entire challenge just turned into almost 8 hours to complete just Sumeru. And after a beautiful dendro heart made of crushed up mint leaves Alina made me, absolutely disgusting by the way, the clock was getting closer to midnight, and we still had 3 regions left. But this is when all the parts of my big plan would start to come together. Inazuma is an archipelago with 6 different islands to explore, each with about 50 mint per island on average, a total of 285 mint. Exploring the entirety of Inazuma was going to be a lot of fun though, getting to reminisce about Genshin's first big update of 2.0 all the way back in July 2021. Not only was it going to be fun though, it was going to be easy. You see, the older a region is in Genshin, the simpler it was. No underground BS, no mountain ranges swinging from 7,000 feet elevation to 1,000 feet below sea level with 20 mint in between, just simple, honest mint picking work. I prepared for this absolute marathon by placing the easier regions near the end. Conserving brain power and energy was a part of the game, and I knew Inazuma would be a breeze. Inazuma Island was done in 18 minutes, the 2 middle islands in 45, and Watatsumi Island took only 10 minutes. We were hitting our stride just like I had hoped. Just like that, Inazuma has been demolished, obliterated, beaten into the fucking ground. We conquered all of Inazuma in just an hour and 40 minutes, with tons of undocumented mint, by the way. That mystery is yet to be solved. But Inazuma was done, or so you may have thought. But chat, I do have bad news for us. Enkanomiya. The only map expansion DLC boss we had in the challenge, Enkanomiya, boasting a massive 214 mint, almost as much as Inazuma had on all the islands combined. But we were about to make a change that would shake up the rest of the run. Now, I am imperfect, I am fallible, and I make mistakes. I could have sworn that Chiori's movement speed passive did not stack with Animo Resonance, so I haven't been using it. But I had some chatters urging me to try it, assuring I was wrong. I also highly underestimated how long Chaska's gun surfing abilities lasted outside of Natlan and didn't put her on the team originally because of this. Trusting my chat and questioning my past judgment, I decided to add Chaska and Animo Resonance to the team. And the results? Honestly, I'm moving pretty fucking fast. Okay, here we go. All right, I always thought it didn't stack, but that's OP. Just more proof why Chiori is the greatest character ever made. I was wrong. Chaska, Chiori, and Animo Resonance had us blazing at speeds I'd never seen before. There was nothing I could do about the time I spent up to this point not using these teams, so I didn't dwell on it. This boost in speed, confidence, and morale was exactly what I needed to push through the final regions of this challenge as we were approaching midnight. I just put my head down, locked in, and absolutely ravaged what was left of Enkanomiya's ecosystem. Even this floating, invisible island where the map barely helps couldn't stop me. In just an hour, we collected all 214 mint of Enkanomiya with a record of 3.56 MPM. Chat, that was it. Nothing's over there. This was the final mint. Enkanomiya absolutely crushed, destroyed, conquered. I might even go as far to say. All right, I want to do the hardest ones now. I want to get the hardest ones done. The hardest one to me is going to be Chenyu Vale. 2 regions left. Liyue and Mondstadt. And the only new age addition to these 2 regions was Chenyu Vale, unfortunately boasting some ridiculously tall mountains and a few underground areas. You may have noticed me talking pretty quiet in these last couple clips. Well, I've been picking mint for about 11 hours. I have neighbors where I live, and it's now midnight. This was becoming more than just a mental battle. It was a battle of attrition with myself. My brain wanted to quit because why the f wouldn't it? And my body wanted to quit because refer to the above. These 2 mint-dense regions were the only things between me and greatness. And after being jolted awake with my reward, 3, 2. Okay.
Turn it up.
No, don't say turn it up.
Well, it wasn't that bad.
I had to prepare to pick the 742 mint in Liyue. And when I had to truly embody the Mamba mentality.
I said, I better get to work. Rest at the end, not in the middle. And that's something I always live by. I'm not gonna rest, I'm gonna keep on pushing now. There are a lot of answers that I don't have, even questions that I don't have. But I'm just gonna keep going. I'm just gonna keep going, and I'll figure these things out as we go, right? And you just continue to build that way. So I try to live by that all the time.
Have a dream, sacrifice for it, and never ever rest in the middle.
And I came into the NBA, I was like, man, these dudes really don't work that hard. And so it's through those behaviors is where I find the motivation to do it. I think the definition of greatness is to inspire the people next to you. I think that's what greatness is or should be. It's not something that lives and dies with one person. It's how can you inspire a person to then in turn inspire another person, that then inspires another person. And that's how you create something that I think lasts forever. It's not sit around and it's all happy-go-lucky type of thing. Your leader, your job is to get the best out of it. You gotta deal with it. Face it, learn from it. It's exciting when you win, it's exciting when you lose, because the process should be exactly the same. But the hardest thing is to face that stuff. But what if today is the day that that's it. Now what do you do?
Holy fuck. This is insane. There was only one reward left between me and finishing the final region, Mondstadt. But it turns out I wasn't the only one in my house with the Mamba mentality.
So Liyue just celebrated Lantern Rite, correct? And it is the year of the snake. So the punishment is he has to hold her for the first 5 or 10 mint that he picks.
Okay, yeah, 5 mint. You need to get the snake on me.
I'm trying.
It's 4 a.m. What's up, Ozen?
It's like she can sense that you don't like her.
No, that's not it.
Oh,
Where's
she's on your chair.
Like, where on my chair?
There she is.
Oh my god! With Ozen stuck to my chair, I continued onwards to all the mint that waited for me in Mondstadt. I saved Mondstadt till last for a few reasons. It was smaller and more compact, so grabbing all the mint quickly would be easier, sure, but that wasn't why. This was where it all began, where we all started our Genshin journey, where the day one players like me spent most of their time falling in love with the game, and where the term mint picker began. These very fields are where my forefathers were mocked, ridiculed about spending their time picking mint. And this may come as a surprise for you to hear, but they were right to be mocked because they were frauds. None of them did good on the name of mint pickers. None of them had the guts to actually stand up to their oppressors and wear the badge of mint picker proudly. I was about to accomplish something people only joked about, something no one before me had the balls to do. And while they know I'm disappointed in them, I can still hear their voices cheering me on in this moment. I can feel them passing the torch on to me. And I can even feel the pain and vitriol they faced for their beliefs.
Mint picker. Mint picker. Mint picker. Mint picker. Pick more mint.
The hills of Mondstadt, let them be your oyster. Let you collect mint from every side of Liyue, Mondstadt, Inazuma, and shit, even Fontaine, if there is any there. May your hearts pick mint, and may your breath be fresh and minty as much as you like.
There it is. 2,477 confirmed more than the Genshin interactive map said there were. 478 mint picked up in one single stream.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We had this delivered as your final reward.
Oh my god! Chat, the final reward! Let's go! I wish I could get lit off this Don Monterey wine, but like, dudes, it's 6 a.m. And so, while I wasn't ready to partake in the dandelion wine then at 6 a.m., I would be honored to share some with you now. Cheers to the dumbest stream idea I've ever had in my entire life. But the legends were true. There were more mint in the game than previously believed to be. No less than 35, in fact. And there may even be more out there yet to be found. To the future generation of mint pickers, I am hanging up the jersey and entrust the future mint of Snezhnaya and Celestia to you. Because if I'm ever doing that again.